Good morning, Guardians. It is Ebontis here, and today I want to do a quick video covering what you can do to prepare for Season 13, which is just about a week away. Now, Season 13 is just a season, not like a full expansion, so you don't have to do substantial raid prep or anything like that, and half of the stuff I'm going to show you is mostly optional, but I still want to cover the things that you may need to do because some currencies are going to be going away, some things may not be accessible anymore, and also if you do want any preparation with regards to a couple things like bounties, I'll cover that in the end. So let's go to the tower. Alright, so the first thing is Crucible tokens. We've accumulated these for a while at Shacks, and if you're going to turn them in at all, you have to do it before the end of the season, because next season they will be gone. They might give you some glimmer for them or something basic, but Crucible tokens will no longer be available to turn into Shacks, and I think the pile that you've got will just turn into probably not much, if anything. Now, what are you going to get by turning in Crucible tokens? You're probably going to get a lot of pieces of armor. For sure, I've gotten my fair share of those. You'll get an occasional weapon in there, and if you do turn stuff in, you'll occasionally get an enhancement core. Now, it's your choice if you want to spend the time to turn all of this stuff in. Most of the armor I'm going to be breaking down for legendary shards. The cores, I'm good on those because I've been stockpiling them for a while, so I have like 1,000. If you're at like 50 and you want to save up some enhancement cores, but you've been playing some Crucible and you have a lot of tokens to use, spend the time, turn them in, stock up on your currencies. It's just not a fast process, and you're probably going to have to be breaking down a lot of stuff through postmaster rotations and things like that. So it will take you some time, so don't wait till like the hour before servers go down to try and do this. It is going to take you a minute. So Crucible tokens, no longer available in 13, so figure out what you want to do with them. And then, honestly, it's not bad. Get some shards, get some cores. You might get a god roll or two. I doubt you're probably going to get any good stat roll armor. I've gone through and done a lot, and all of mine have been trash. So mostly breaking down the armor, see if you get a decent weapon roll, and enjoy the currencies. Alright, so the next thing that is going to be going away at the end of Season 13 are the currencies related to the planets that are now in the Destiny Content Vault. So you've got Mars, Mercury, Titan, and Io. So all of the currencies that you've accumulated while playing for a couple of years, they're no longer going to be available in the game, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do with them. So, you've got your phase glass needles, Seraphite, Alkane dust, and simulation seeds. Now, there's a couple places you can exchange this. One is going to be at Spider. Now, there was one of the days that I checked last week where I actually had a pretty good exchange. But again, it depends on how much you care about doing this. So it's really going to be up to you how much currency you currently have. Like legendary shards is really probably mostly what this is going to net you. Also, if you do get legendary shards and you stock up a lot, you could buy a few enhancement prisms, things like that. I'll cover the Gunsmith here in a second as well. He's going to have some places that you're going to be able to spend some of these currencies as well. But the optimal way, if you're just going for straight legendary shards and just want to sit here and dump a whole bunch of stuff, your goal would be to have the Glimmer purchasable for one of those currencies that is going away. And then on the other side, what you want to be able to do is spend the Glimmer that you're buying with those old currencies on a new currency. So say, for example, Glimmer was available for Seraphite. That's the Mars currency. Takes 20 Seraphite for 10,000 Glimmer. So I'm low on Glimmer. I'm max out on Glimmer. I can come over here and I can buy Berry and Bows. These are 5,000 a piece. I buy however many of these it takes to use up all my Glimmer. Come back over here, buy more Glimmer. The main reason that one's going to work is because you're buying Glimmer, which is a currency you'll always be able to use for a currency that's going away forever, and then you're exchanging it for legendary shards. So, is it the most efficient thing in the world? Is it going to take you a while? Sure, you might want to throw on a Netflix show if you have a bunch of this stuff, but that's the main purpose of what you're going to be looking for with Spider. So now let's go back to the Gunsmith. Alright, see, the other place that you can exchange some of your currencies, but this is going to be more hit or miss, but it should change every day, so definitely make sure you check these vendors every single day between now and the end of the season to see if any of them are going to be the exchange currency you're looking for. So you can see here the upgrade modules. These are for Alkane dust, so you could spend those. But the big ones that you'd be going for are, of course, prisms and ascendant shards. If you have, first off, the Glimmer, and two, say, like the enhancement prisms to buy a golf ball, but say you're maxed out and you're like, well, he's selling, it's going to cost me 100 of a currency and I can buy some of these things. I've got a decent amount of prisms. Maybe the exchange rate is perfect and it's just stuff that you have a bunch of. What you could do is just take any piece of armor that you find reasonable. I got a 62 stat roll on this piece of armor. Cool, it's going to last me for a while. I could come in here, basically spend my currency, raise it up as high as I can, get it to max out, spin to the currencies so I'm underneath the cap, come back in here to the Gunsmith, and then spin some of those currencies. Again, all of this is mostly optional, but these are the few ways that you can spend those currencies if you haven't done them yet. So check both Spider and Gunsmith, see what he's selling every day, and if those currencies are going to be able to be used. If not, they're just going to go away, and it's probably not that big of a deal, but that's your places to spend them. The next piece is actually going to be on Bungie.net. And here, what you're going to want to do is go to your login and go to your season progress. Now, we'll cover in-game the current season, but you might want to check the previous season. Now, if you don't pick up everything from a previous season, it's actually available for you to claim straight from the website. So if there's any currencies like these two, for example, Enhancement Prism, Ascendant Shard, that piece of gear that I was looking at where I just need to spend one Ascendant Golf Ball to upgrade it, I can actually spin that Ascendant Shard and then turn around in here and claim the Ascendant Shard, and it's just going to go straight into the game. Takes like 5 seconds. It's actually impressively fast. And check all your other characters. If you've got a shader you need to claim that. There's no room in your inventory, so you'll have to have some space. But you can do that for all 3 characters. Now, I didn't play all three of my characters that much, but I think I did claim the ornaments. But anything from your season pass, a decent set of armor, if you've claimed those, you know, don't forget the higher levels in the season pass. Those sets of armor are going to have high stat rolls. So if you're looking for one of those, that could still be beneficial and last you for a few more seasons. If there's any materials you haven't claimed at all, make sure and get those. A shader to make sure you don't miss those. Your Warlock bundle, this is going to give you a nice bundle of stuff. You're going to get a copy of an exotic. Same thing. All of this, you want to make sure you go through for all 3 characters. And just don't miss anything. Sometimes I miss an exotic engram on like level 40 because I didn't pick it up at the time. And there's a roll on an exotic. I went through them yesterday already, so there's not as much showing for me. But it is important to make sure you check here to see if you're missing anything. For the current season, you can look, but you can't claim anything. You're going to have to go back into the game for that. But if you are in the game, you can switch over here and you can see all the stuff that you have and haven't claimed. If you've got an exotic cipher, those are hard to spend, and especially have an exotic cipher from last season, since you can only hold 1 at a time, you're going to need to spend the exotic cipher at Zur this weekend, and then claim the previous exotic cipher from your old season pass. So certain currencies are going to be a good thing, and you've also got armor. I've got a 66 stat roll chest. I've got a 66 stat roll helmet. And then you get up to the ornaments. But again, don't forget, in your current season pass, you have a set of armor that is going to last you for all of year 4. And it comes with a high stat roll if you bought the season pass. 65 on legs, 66 on gauntlets. Those are all really solid. And if you really don't have to worry about armor too much, you've got a good stat roll, you can max it out, spend some of that infusion, or, you know, and spend some of those currencies like prisms and ascendant shards to max it out. Then as you go to earn more later on, you'll have places to put them, and you know you've got a set of armor that's maxed out to 10 energy, and you know it's going to last for all of year 4. So main stuff to claim in here would be, you know, an exotic if you got it. Any currencies that you're missing, just go through your season pass, claim everything, make sure you get all of your ornaments as well, make sure you get your emblems in case you're missing those. All the random stuff in here, just check all of them and check all 3 characters. That's important. Check all 3 characters, see if you're missing anything on any of those, especially the ornaments. Transmog's going to be great later on. You don't want to miss out on those. Outside of the season pass, there's one other thing you might want to check, just because at the end of the season, dates get to be kind of important. If you go to the Bungie rewards, so go to your account and then go to rewards, you're going to see Bungie rewards. And this is when you can go to the Bungie store and buy things that you may have unlocked throughout the season. Some stuff is time sensitive, so you have to earn the Beyond Light, Reborn, Hawkmoon. Some of the stuff you have to earn it before the servers go down, and they're probably going to go down before 10:59, so you don't want to wait till the last 5 minutes. So try and do that stuff this week. If you want the Hawkmoon little miniature figure for Hawkmoon, you need to make sure you earn it by the end of the season. You have to claim the reward here 3 days later. And if you don't claim the reward, you can't even get the code. And then you have to redeem it by March 1st. So come in here. Most likely everybody has a Stasis t-shirt. My wife will tell you I have way too many Bungie shirts, but honestly, I enjoy them. But I probably still definitely have way too many Bungie shirts. It's true. But again, here's a Stasis shirt. Got to earn it by February 9th. click right here. Make sure you claim the reward by February 12th, and then make sure you buy it by the time you need. If you got the Warden seal and you want the little pin, don't forget on those. So again, come in here, check the dates of anything specific related to this season, and make sure you claim the stuff that you want to get. And if you want to buy it from the Bungie store, jump on that before it goes away. The final major thing that I've got is bounties. I know people are going to ask if you should be saving bounties, and the nice thing is weekly bounties are going away. These were usually the bigger ones that people would stockpile because they are worth 12,000 experience, I think. And the ones for sure that are not going to be usable for weekly bounties are going to be Gunsmith, who I'm sitting at, Shax for Crucible, Zavala for Vanguard, and then Drifter for Gambit. All of those weekly bounties are for sure gone. Now, I don't know if they're going to still have weekly bounties at Barracks. So if you go to Europa and he's got a weekly bounty that you can work on, maybe. I don't know. There's a couple random vendors. Spider has some bounties that you can do for enhancement cores and Glimmer. Eris is going to have some bounties down here at the moon. So you've got a few random ones you could go do. But I don't know if all weeklies, like every single weekly bounty, is going to be completely wiped. So it's your risk if you want to spend the time working on a weekly bounty at all. Same thing with Iron Banner. I don't know if those are going to be wiped out completely, but Iron Banner tends to work a little bit differently. Iron Banner is worth a decent chunk of experience. Now again, they could go away. The gear you get next season isn't going to be anything new or pinnacle or anything probably worth saving there, so the gear level is going to be capped here, but they're usually a big chunk of experience. So if you do the Iron Banner bounties and you don't really need to work on pinnacles or tournament or anything, you could save them, see if they carry over. Maybe it's a chunk of experience. Not bad. Now, what can you save when it comes to bounties? Dailies. You could probably stockpile dailies from just about every vendor. They're still going to be available in Season 13, and you'll be able to potentially turn them in. The thing about the daily bounties that you risk is if you go to the tower, for example, and you look at Zavala, and you see you get a powerful gear Tier 1 reward by turning in 8 bounties. The only issue with doing all your daily bounties from a previous season, like if you save up 8 previous season bounties, there's this weird issue where you can mess up getting powerful gear in the new season. Like you would only get a 1250 reward instead of getting something that would get you to like 1272 or 1278 as you're trying to level up in the next season. So my advice mostly is avoid the ritual vendors altogether because they have powerful rewards that you can get and you could mess those up. So anything in the tower, probably not going to be worth messing with because if you do mess up a powerful reward, again, a little bit of experience is not going to be worth that. Iron Banner bounties, stuff from Varix, Eris, Spider, those are random things you could probably do, but overall, I don't think much of bounty hoarding and grinding this week is going to be worth your time. So it's totally up to you. There is some risks if you do the dailies and you mess up the vendor reward. The weeklies are completely going away. Do not waste your time on those. And for the random vendors that aren't the tower ritual people like that, it's your discretion if you want to do it. But my advice, it's not going to benefit you that much. Just play the season as normal and you'll probably be fine. As for anything else this season, it's really up to you. If you're trying to go for one more run on Deepstone Crypt, go get your run. If you're trying to finish up Hawk Moon this week, you can finish it up, get your ship. You should be good to go. I've only done one character, and I should be able to finish it this week. So if you've been doing it once a week, you should be good. If you have anything related to Crow, make sure you go, do any of your Wrathborne hunt stuff. The Wrathborne hunts are still going to be around, but his bounties are going to be going away. So really no purpose in keeping his bounties at all. Weekly, daily, or anything. He's not going to have bounties available here anymore. He's also on the lure. I don't think you're ever going to be able to upgrade that again. And then the ritual stuff that you've got, the currency that kind of lets you get a couple packages from him. If you've got any of that, turn it in because that's probably gone too. So honestly, you could probably not do much. Crucible tokens and spider currencies just depends on how new or how much of that stuff you really want to turn in. Season pass rewards, it's good not to miss out on stuff, but if you haven't missed it for 3 months, you're probably not going to miss it anyway. But I would say don't miss out on the ornaments for transmog, things of that nature. If you want to buy anything off Bungie.net rewards, that is time limited, so that's kind of a tangible piece. And then bounties, that's completely up to you guys. So Season 13, they're slowly getting away from having to do like the pre-seasonal prep, which is great. and hopefully we'll get closer and closer to not really having to do anything before a season that you don't feel it, because you should be a fresh, clean start each season. Be nice to see that. That's all I got for you guys. I'm going to be streaming Immortals Phoenix Rising today, so I'm going to knock this out. Throw it up on the channel if you guys are watching this. Come watch me stream live on YouTube, not Twitch today, so we'll be on YouTube, Immortals Phoenix Rising, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central, so you guys can find me there, and then I'll be off for the evening. Same thing on Thursday. Friday morning, we have the podcast, The Last Word, so we will be live on Twitch for The Last Word, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time for the podcast. Thank you all very much. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, subscribe, like, all the good things, and I will see you soon.